Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you see, this message of Pastor Abel Damina is trending since yesterday when he said Adam and Eve did not eat anything in the garden. And he made a reference to the scripture where he said, Jesus said, what you eat does not defile a man. It is what comes out from a man that defiles a man. Stating that smoking is not sin. Alcohol is not sin. Cigar is not sin because what you take does not defile you. And it has been causing a lot of, controversies on social media. People have been bringing out their opinions. Some are saying, yes, Abel Damina is correct. Before I say my own opinion, let me show you the video.
Adam and Eve ate nothing. Adam and Eve didn't eat anything. Were you there? You were not there. They ate nothing. Honey, they ate nothing. So how do we know whether they ate something or not? Jesus was there. So was Jesus there in the Garden of Eden? Yes. Can Jesus explain to us what happened? Yes. So look at Jesus. Now Mark 7:18.
And he saith unto them,
now this is Jesus speaking to the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Yes.
Are ye so without understanding also? Do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entereth into the man, it cannot defile him?
Wait, do you not know that if Adam and Eve ate something, they will not be sinners? It is not what people eat that make them sinners. It's not what you eat. You cannot be a sinner by eating or drinking something. I've told you alcohol is not a sin. I've told you cigar is not a sin. If you like, put it on newspaper headline. I said it. Alcohol is not a sin. Cigar is not a sin. Am I saying you should smoke? You should have sense from your father's house to know that cigar will cut short your life. Am I saying you should drink alcohol? You should have sense to know that if you drink alcohol, you will lie down inside gutter and your shirt and trouser will disappear. You should have sense to know that one from your mother's house.
You see, that is the video. Maybe I may do another video to further buttress this one. But on this one, I want to quickly say that Pastor Abel Damina quoted the Bible out of context in trying to establish that what a man takes in does not defile him. It is what comes out that defiles him. He was trying to quote the Bible out of context because the scenario he used in buttressing what happened in Genesis is different from what Jesus was addressing. The scripture said, in that passage that he read from, when the disciples was eating corn with their unwashed hand, the people beseech Jesus and tell Jesus that your disciples wants to defile themselves because they are eating with unclean hands. Their hands were not washed. And Jesus told them, no, it is not so. Whether your hand is washed or not does not mean that what you will eat will defile you, but rather what comes out of a man will defile a man, not what the man takes in. It has nothing to do with that Genesis story of what Adam and Eve ate of the forbidden fruit. That scripture that Abel Damina used to justify that Genesis issue, there is no similitude at all. It is not related. The context is not related at all. But you see, when you study the book of Genesis, it was rightly stated, Genesis chapter 3, that the woman saw that the fruit is good for food. It was pleasant to the eyes. And she ate of it and also gave to her husband. And the husband ate of it also. And God had to sanction them. And we must understand that what transpired in the Garden of Eden, according to the scripture, the act of Adam and Eve eating that fruit was not actually why God had to deal with them, but the act of disobedience, because God already told them that this fruit, do not eat from it. Eat from others. Eat from others. If Dr. Abel Damina is trying to tell us that they didn't eat anything, it is as good as Abel Damina is telling us there was never a Garden of Eden. It is as good as Dr. Abel Damina telling us that there were never other fruit that God instructed them to eat from. Then Abel Damina is trying to tell us that there was never a time that Satan came in the form of the serpent to deceive the woman to disobey God by eating the fruit. And Abel Damina is also trying to tell us that there was never a time that Adam and Eve disobeyed God. That means to say that this message Abel Damina is trying to preach, if we want to, bring it into consideration, we can rightly say that creation is false. Yes, now creation is false. That God didn't create heaven and earth. That the concept of creation is false. That the concept of the fall of man that introduced sin into the world is false. And we can invariably say that the concept of Jesus Christ coming to redeem man to God is also false. Because it is that singular act of Adam and Eve that brought sin into this world. You see, sometimes when we begin to, now New Year we just did so, and this thing is very funny. We all must understand as Christians that Satan can use anybody. Satan can speak through anybody. Satan can push an agenda through anybody. Abel Damina is not left behind. When he give room for Satan to use him, Satan will use him well to achieve his own purpose on earth. I'm not saying that Satan is using him, but I am saying that we just have to be careful. I pray God give us understanding.